Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast, where we speak about all things related to spirituality, soul level healing, intuitive guidance, frequencies, and much more. I'm Amy Sikarskie, licensed vocational nurse, past life hypnotherapist, master intuitive energy healer, and a clairvoyant physical channel. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Spirit School Online, where we offer courses in energy therapy, free guided meditations, courses and information around learning to connect in with your spirit guides, and much more. You can find me at amysikarskie.com and offerings at spiritschoolonline.com. Hi, beautiful friends. Welcome to this episode of the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm Amy Sikarskie, and I'm so happy you're here with us. There has been a lot of activity this year, a lot of healing, a lot of deep work and integration, looking within, finding who we are, and letting that light of our soul come online for transformation. And we've all experienced an up-leveling of some sort. And some of us may still be feeling that we're healing around certain areas in life. And I was thinking about this last night. If you feel like you are still healing or something might be missing, I would encourage you to do an energetic soul retrieval meditation. And I have one of these at the school, a soul retrieval meditation. It's actually a free offering. I'll put the link in the show notes below. So soul retrieval is an experience where we, through a traumatic moment, can leave aspects of our energy in another location. And this can be a time in this life or another life. It can be in a physical location. And it can be in the earth frequency, so in the earth realm or off of the planet. And I personally have had many beautiful and very healing, highly impactful soul retrieval experiences. The way that I would say how I feel afterward is that I'm more present, I'm more focused. It's not that my brain wants to do something or I feel this awareness and knowing that I should be doing something. It's a return of energy that was lost or forgotten. And then when it returns to you, you have this strength, like this intense strength that maybe we didn't even know was missing in the way that it was or had the language around. So we might not have known that was the source of a discomfort or a longing to feel the fullness. And within that fullness of who we are, I often feel this vibrational frequency of balance, a wholeness, strength, putting together, this feeling of clarity within. And that's really where it starts, when we start to honor and take responsibility of our sovereignty, that clarity within. We really begin to know who we are. And what does that mean? Is it who you are with your name, who you are in this life, who you are that your family and community have compartmentalized or, I don't know, labeled you to be? There's all these aspects of soul and self. There's aspects of the humanness. And you take an infant, you take this child and you put them in different environments. And how do they really identify with who they are? And it becomes a little bit more than that. Because in these experiences, it's a visceral, internal, energetic knowing through the clairsense of clairsentience, which is at the heart, this awareness, this gut instinct in the gut of who you are. And it's actually not questioning or searching. Like you're not really questioning or searching. When you have a soul retrieval, it's more of a, oh my gosh, hello, there you are. You've been missing. It's a recommitment to this awareness. It's a reconnection of the I'm hearing authority that you hold as a soul. And it's really an encompassing experience where that light of who you are from all times and space comes into this physical body. It's not so much a personality, although your personality can be enhanced or influenced from this awareness, and you tend to make very easily decisions and choices and repattern and restructure your boundaries and your intentions. And you might find that you have a clearer direction and an area of focus that your brain isn't saying you need to do. You just know, like inside, it just happens. Um, and so, in order to make it happen, you will find that your responses and the patterns and the habits to life experiences and external encounters switch. Like they just switch. All of a sudden, you feel really strong and pure and sure of something. And in the past, you might have gave allowances or went a certain way. And now you're like, no, that doesn't work for me at all. There's this other thing that's been coming up that reminds me of this, and it's this way of really knowing who you are because you're going to feel it, and so you'll respond to what is appropriate for your frequency and your mission and direction, your intention and your awareness. We're going to start to find a little bit more of that, and what does that mean, and how does that play out? So, in this way of it, it's like you have opportunities, and maybe you are in the space of gathering resources and intel and data, information, opportunities, and looking into them. But at some period, you're going to find a strong yes or a strong no. So if you don't have a strong no or a strong yes, you might give yourself a little bit of time to let that awareness and let the information within you percolate, like you digest the opportunity, let your body just feel into it. And then you can say, okay, it's been 3 days or 3 hours. I need an answer. And so ask yourself, ask your body, ask your soul, is this a no? And you may get a strong, strong no. But if you don't get a strong no, one of the ways that my guides have been showing me is it a strong yes? And if it's not a strong yes, take it as a no. So it could be that now is not the right time. So I'm not getting a strong yes. Your higher self, your guides and spirit could be like, we're not saying it's really going to negatively impact you if you go with it, but it's not a strong yes for this moment of time in your mission. And with our exchanges and interactions of time and energy, gifts and skills, you really want to make sure that it is something that is supporting you. And if you say, okay, I realize that I am giving a little bit more of myself away to this experience, it's not super balanced, but you're aware of it and you give that, then you would know, okay, I have like a little bit of extra energy to give right now. And then if opportunity comes a week or two later, you say, I'm spent for the month, So you want to have a little bit more awareness that can come through in a form of respect for you and your time and your commitment. And flowing back, when I first started speaking, I found that word responsibility. It is our responsibility to make sure our energetic field is clear and pure and strong, and that we have the resources for when we are called to go into action. And so there's this aspect of feeling the vibration within you that will then lead you to questions and then lead you to research, maybe some information or an exercise or a modality, a certain type of meditation that you could utilize for your spiritual health and well-being. Just as if you are presented with something in your physical world that feels a little bit off and then you look for answers and resources, your soul will speak to you, and your energy field will also begin to communicate more with you when you take the time to listen and be prepared and be present in the knowingness. And that knowingness can come through any time of the day, but mostly when we're quiet. And if we don't give ourselves those quiet moments to experience the communication with our body, our physical, and all dimensions of our energy body, then we will find that over time, the message will just get louder and louder and more uncomfortable. And hopefully, you can catch that message before it manifests in the physical, especially if it's a message that then would be presented through some sort of experience that involves others. So, yes, when we spoke about karma a few episodes ago, try and keep your energy really clear and that you don't find that you're in a space of receiving a lesson, if we want to say, integrating wisdom in a way in which it gets you tied into another person's energy. Um, it's all based on intuition and flowing with the day and how things go. So every day, the more opportunities that you give, at least to start your day being present, can be exceptionally beneficial for you. So in the mornings, I take my time before I jump out of bed to get back in my body, let the energy flow in and integrate. And it was so funny because the other day was an off day for me and I didn't have anything like straight up on my schedule. So I took the time to stay laying in bed. I had the puppies with me and we were just really enjoying the moment of the morning and just kind of laying there. And then all of a sudden, I felt all this energy come in and start to ground me. I usually felt this energy, or I would say in my past, this energy was first introduced to me in energy sessions where I would be receiving an energetic healing and the practitioner would ground me. And then through meditation, I would ground. And now my body's naturally grounding. And personally, for myself, what it feels like is this warmth and yummy fullness. There's a density to it, and it's like this yummy humming. Just think of like what would earth sound like, right? This deep hum in the body, in the bones, in my muscles, in my tissue. And it's really recharging. It's really filling up my physical body with this frequency that was coming in through my legs first. And then it felt like this strong battery pack holding me in a grounded way within my body that then lit up the rest of my chakras. And it was such a beautiful way to start my day that I feel like I've maintained that still to today. So it was probably, I don't know, maybe like a week ago or something. And I felt really, really clear and I felt really strong and energized. And then it helped me get back in connection with my physical body because I'm also noticing when I'm tired and I'm not letting the clock really govern or regulate my day and my schedule. So I'm getting enough sleep where I wake up before, my workday starts. And I'm allowing myself to just feel the flow of my body and my energy. And every day it's been a little bit different of when I want to go to bed. But this is a part of self care and upgrading that helps us to feel present, secure within ourselves, clear and focused. And once you know your energy and you feel what feels aligned and what feels right to you, you're going to find when you get signals of something is off and you address it that day. You address it, you take care of it right now. In the past, we might have felt that we had more time to let things play out and, oh, I'm not going to look at that. I'll look at it later. And our guides are saying, no, no, no. It's about the now moment right now. Don't postpone. Don't push things off. And you might be saying, oh, Amy, well, I'm at work and I'm getting this message. Okay, write it down. Commit to yourself. I am going to look into this tonight when I get home or tomorrow morning. But don't just ignore it and hope that things will magically fix themselves. So my guides are saying, let's give an example. Okay, let's say that you had a conversation or received a text message from a friend or family member or a colleague, and it's that funny with you. You didn't like it. It just hit you wrong. So they're saying first you would breathe and calm your energy and ask, well, is there anything in me that's not healed? Like, why is this coming about? Or am I really feeling that they're, coming like towards you with energy that's aggressive? So you first want to analyze and look within yourself and feel, what could this be about? Is it something within that you can take responsibility for? And do you need to take the time to do some self-healing, some self-care, some self-nurturing? And so if that's the case, then you do that. So that's a form of taking responsibility. See? Yeah, exactly. But if you do all that and you're like, no, I don't have any problems around this. This has not been a theme that's coming up. This just really feels like a one off, or maybe this cycle has been going for a while and they, are repeating it again. Then you might say, okay, I'm not just going to ignore it and let it float by, but you would find the right way through intuition and asking what would be the right way for you to address this. Now, if you're guided to not do anything at all, as far as in the physical by responding, then that is your decision. That is the answer. But in the energy field, you can address it. So you want to clear the energy, this little icky vibe you might have got out of your system, wash your aura, recharge up with positive energy, put a little shield, another layer of your shield around, and there, you've done something, right? But so you didn't ignore it, basically. You didn't ignore it. And then the next thing they're sharing is, if you are called to reach out, you can kind of, say in whatever way you're guided to just bring this awareness, hey, I'm feeling this. Is that what's going on? Or can you share some light with us? Do you want to have a conversation? Because it's just not really feeling in alignment. Like maybe there's something else going on. And then you've addressed it in that way too. And sometimes, in fact, often, it's just about creating a space for communication and clear communication, and a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of heartache, a lot of animosity and struggles can really be resolved through communication. Even if you know that communication is going to end with you not seeing eye to eye or separating, at least that energy of confusion will be dissolved or not created at all. And you might say, well, I'm not confused. I know exactly what's going on here. And the guides are saying, okay, cool. What about the other party? What about the others involved? Because if they're confused, you will still feel the energy of their confusion. When they think of you, when they're pondering what's going on, if any of their emotions come up, you'll feel it. And whether you are psychically enhanced in your clairsenses and your awareness of intuitive psychic impressions or not, your system will still know that something's going on. It can feel really present, super close in your aura, where your body's fluttering and it's becoming uncomfortable. Or it can be out really far in your aura and something that is just a little bit of a deposit, just a little bit of an unfiltered frequency that sits there and builds over time. But it's not healthy. So when you're made aware of something, take care of it in the now. Don't let it build up. And this will help you later on in life. And this will help you at the end of this life when you're transition out of the earth frequencies, not to acquire all this karma. Karma's energy. It's energy that's unhealed. It's energy that's unbalanced. It's energy that's tied to something or intertwined. And when we clear the air, we clear the energy and we release it, then we can lift off of that situation feeling present and strong within ourselves. So these are some of the messages that really wanted to stream through today for everybody. And I hope that it's found you at a really important or poignant time. And if you're saying, this is interesting, I haven't really thought about this. Well, maybe you know somebody that you're feeling called to share this podcast episode with, or potentially in the near future, you're going to say, oh, what was that episode? I really think I'm experiencing something right here. Let me pop back and listen, and you'll find the message. You'll really connect with it over and over again. So the last thing I want to close by is a theme that, it's been coming up. We've spoke about it, but it's really present right now, and that's those boundaries. So what do you have within your energetic reserves? How much energy or time do you have to freely give away to others that maybe are trying to work through their own karmic cycle or learn their own lessons in life? And the guides are just saying, just be aware again of your energy reserves. And if you feel depleted or that you're focusing on yourself, do take the time for yourself. Have that respect and that energetic boundary. And you can express your boundaries in really loving ways. These aren't anything that need to be harsh. Communicating your boundaries doesn't need to come across in a really harsh way at all. You don't have to raise your voice or say a firm voice. You just share what it is, and your energy will really speak and let that be known. So, again, like we are flowing into the season, which is care and comfort of self. I'm seeing a lot of integrative healing where mind, body, spirit, and soul is really reflecting on this past year, recharging within. And although there are some awarenesses for what's to come, the focus and the message recently has been to be in the now moment. Sometimes we look for the next high, the peak, the next expansion. And your guides are saying there needs to be balance. There needs to be self-care. There needs to be some reverence and acceptance and awareness of the other side of that, the lulls, the valleys, the integration, the going within, the quietness. And I was just online the other day, and I saw this meme that talked about how when the snow covers the earth, it's so quiet because it absorbs sound. And I was like, oh wow. So we walked around our neighborhood the other night with all the Christmas lights, and it's quiet out. Like I couldn't hear any cars or anything going, but you can still hear, I don't know, like that sound of the atmosphere. And it reminded me when we lived in Michigan and we would go out in the country when we had acreage and it was covered in snow. Or I grew up in Utah, so where the snow was there and it was beautiful. The echoes didn't echo like they usually do, and sound carried differently. And it was just this peaceful quietness. And I loved it so much. That's one thing I missed with the snow. So I felt that, and I'm feeling that now. Like, let yourself experience the quietness, the utmost level of quiet, to let your nervous system just relax. Let your body be without any demands and without overstimulation and without feeling that you have to navigate or make decisions and weave through energies and opportunities. Give yourself a moment, set aside some quiet space this holiday season. Set aside that quiet space. Yeah, I'm really feeling that, whether it's an hour, a day, a week, whatever you can manage or feel called. Allow yourself to sit in that reverence, that peaceful vibration, that connection with your soul. And at that same time, they're saying this would be a great time for soul retrieval. So if you find that you would like to do a soul retrieval, you kind of feel the vibration within, you ask what it's about. Sometimes it's clearing energy. Sometimes it's healing through prana and ki from this dimension around us. And other times it's actually pulling in a part of yourself that was lost or left in another time and space. And again, I have a meditation at spiritschoolonline.com where you could pop on there and go through a guided meditation for soul retrieval. And so, it feels so good. I hope that this message has been inspiring, and I hope that you found peace and some calmness throughout the holiday season here and throughout the stage of life, just reminding you that we ebb and flow and go through seasons, and it's a beautiful place to be. And I wish you all the very, very best and much love and happiness, health and healing. And I'll see you again on the next episode of the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast.